Hi, everyone. Benjamin here from English Classes Online. In today's lesson, our focus is on nouns and types of nouns. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. We want to start with the lesson objectives, and at the end of this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Number one, define a noun. Number two, explain how to recognize nouns in English sentences. Three, mention the types or subclasses of nouns and explain each with examples. So let's get started right away. What is a noun? A noun is a naming word. That's just what it is. It is a word that names a person, thing, place, or idea in a sentence. For example, if you say, John is a boy, you have named someone whom you call a boy. As a matter of fact, you have mentioned two names in that sentence, and each of them is a noun. John is a noun. That's the name of a particular person. Boy is also a noun. That's the general name given to a type of person. So a noun is a naming word, okay? Now let's continue and look at how to recognize nouns in sentences, okay? We recognize nouns in sentences by bearing in mind that every word that names a person, place, thing, or idea is a noun. So if a word is a name of someone or something, then that word is a noun, okay? That's how to recognize nouns in sentences. For example, when you are talking about a person, okay, the teacher asked Jim to stand up, okay? Can you identify, names referring to persons here? Can you point the first name that refers to someone or something in this sentence? We are talking of a person, so it must be a word that refers to someone. If a word refers to someone by name, whether a general name or a particular name, that name obviously is a noun. And here we have two. We actually have two of them. Well, let me see how I can begin. Okay, so here you can see teacher, the teacher. Now, teacher is the name of a person who teaches others. Okay, Jim is the name of a particular person, boy or man. See, so you can see the two names here. The teacher asked Jim to stand up. And how do you know it's a name of a person? If you say, Dash asked Jim to stand up, the question is, who asked Jim to stand up? Teacher. Excuse me. And then if you omit Jim here, the question will be who? The teacher asked Dash to stand up. The question is, the teacher asked who to stand up? Jim. So that's exactly the way it is. Let's undo the marks and then move on to the next Okay. Let's move on to the next ways of identifying nouns in sentences. We have looked at how to identify a person. Then, what of a place? Nigeria is made up of 36 states and the FCT. You see, Nigeria is the name of a place. Then states, FCT, these are also names of places. Then when you are talking about something, the boy opened the box and stole the money in it. The boy opened what? The box and stole what in it? The money. So you can see box is a thing, money is a thing. So that is exactly how to identify things in sentences. Then idea. Education is the greatest legacy. You see, education is an idea. Legacy is also an idea. An idea is an abstract noun. You can't touch it or see it or mention it. Okay, so let's move on to look at the types of nouns, which we now call subclasses of nouns. Now, let's begin to look at them. Number one, proper nouns. Two, common nouns. Three, abstract nouns. Four, concrete nouns. Five, countable nouns. Six, uncountable nouns. Seven, singular nouns. Eight, plural nouns. Nine, collective nouns. And 10, compound nouns. So these are the various types of nouns, okay? So let's now move on to look at them, beginning with the proper noun. A proper noun is the name of a particular person, place, or any other, just the name of a particular person or place, if you like. It could be an institution or a country or any other thing, okay? Now, for example, we have John, that's the name of a particular person. National Theater. Nigeria is the name of a country, America, UK, China. These are names of countries, okay? So the name of a particular person or place is called a proper noun. And one thing about proper nouns is that when we write proper nouns, we always begin a proper noun with a capital letter. Take note of this. A common noun is the general name of a type of person, place, thing, or idea. For example, book, boy, city, girl, school, man, house, pot, etc. So a book is a type of reading material, okay? A boy is a type of person. A city is a type of place. A girl is a type of person. A school is a type of learning center or a type of institution. A man is a type of person. A house is a type of shelter. A pot is a type of cooking utensil, and so on and so forth. So when you have a type of person or a type of thing, the general name you give to a type of thing or a type of person is called the common noun. And that means that name is common to all the members of that class. Let's assume that you have a class of persons called boys. So everyone you call a boy has certain features that make them, that classify them, as a class. And they are all members of that class. And this name is common to all of them. The same thing with girl, okay? And so on and so forth. Then when you look at boys, if you come to a class in a school and it's, a co-educational class, a mixed class. You know, you have boys, you have girls. Now, if you give an instruction and you say all the boys in the class stand up, boys stand up. If you are a boy in the class, stand up. If they are 10, you will see 10 boys stand up in the class. And among the 10 boys, you look at all of them and you want to call one particular person. And maybe his name is John. And you say, John, sit down. All the 10 boys are not going to sit down. But if you say, boys, sit down, every one of them will sit down. But while they are all standing up, if you call the name of a particular person and you say, John, sit down, only John will sit down because that's the particular person that bears that name. So the name boy is common to the 10 students in that class, but the name John is relevant only to one person, okay? So that's the way you identify this, okay? Then the next thing, having looked at common nouns, we now look at abstract nouns, okay? Common nouns can be subdivided into abstract and concrete nouns. Now, an abstract noun refers to things you cannot see or touch, okay? And we have examples like peace, health, joy, education, anger, wisdom, beauty, pride, courage. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen peace? Have you ever touched peace? Have you ever seen health? Have you ever touched health? What about joy? What about education? So these are abstract nouns. You can't touch them, you can't see them. And then a concrete noun is the opposite. It refers to things you can see and touch, things like table, box, man, book, chair, bed, bag, door, house, basket, mat, etc. You can see them, you can touch them. And then another subclass of nouns is countable noun. As the name implies, it refers to things you can count, 1, 2, 3, and so on. For example, you can count plates. If you are referring to one, there will be no S, one plate, two or more plates, pots, books, students, boxes, cups, buckets, tables, chairs, and so on and so forth. Then uncountable nouns cannot be counted, unlike countable. So countable, uncountable. You can count the countable, you cannot count the uncountable. So that's the difference, okay? And now, examples of uncountable nouns include water, advice, news, peace, glass, tea, etc. Now, you see a lot of people make mistakes with the word advice. Often you hear a lot of people now tell you, I want to give you an advice. That is grammatically incorrect. You can't count advice. You can talk of a piece of advice. I want to give you some advice, or I want to give you a piece of advice, okay? Then something like tea can actually be used when you pluralize or singularize an uncountable noun, you give it a special meaning. For example, if you say, I need a tea, you are not referring to the substance itself, which is uncountable. You are now referring to a cup of tea. Can I have a tea? Okay. And then if you look at something like glass, glass as material cannot be counted, okay? But if you are talking about a glass, then you are looking at drinking cups and all that. Okay, so Then one other way to form the plural of uncountable nouns is to use partitives. For example, you can talk of waters, but you can talk of a cup of water or 2 cups of water. All right? When you use the word waters, you give it a special meaning because the word waters now refers to different sources of water you can find in a country, such as the seas, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. So you can talk about Nigerian waters, okay? Now, singular noun, a singular noun refers to one, okay? Only one. Example, a boy, a book, an elephant, a table, a man, a woman, an orange, and so on and so forth. Plural refers to 2 or more, okay? For example, if you are talking about boys, books, elephants, tables, men, women, oranges, books, houses, and so on and so forth. And that brings us to collective noun. The name of a group of persons or things is called a collective noun. For example, crowd, club, class, family, flock, herd, committee, band, school, choir. Now, how do we use collective nouns? We can use it either as singular or as plural, depending on the meaning we want to convey, okay? You can talk about a crowd of people, but when you say a crowd of people, which means you are looking at all the members of that, all the people in that crowd, you are not looking at them in their individual capacities. You are looking at them as a unit. So you say a crowd of people or a class of people, okay? Now, if you want to talk about them, you know, refer to their individual capacities or actions, then you can say the crowd are beating up the suspected armed robbers. The crowd are, because now, you know, you are referring to the persons that make up that crowd and the action they are taking, okay? But if you are referring to them as a single unit, you use the singular noun. So you can talk about a family and you say that the family, the new family lives, you know, very close to my house. But if you are looking at their individual actions, you can say, well, most of the time, the family are always shouting at one another. You are looking at, you are referring to them not as a single unit, but, you know, as individuals taking actions in their various capacities, okay? So that's a collective noun. Then a compound noun consists of 2 or more words. Like blackboard is made up of 2 words, black and board. But then it refers to something. That's the name of a kind of thing that we used as a learning device where the teacher writes and then the students can see what has been written. Then mother-in-law, made up of 3 words, mother, in, law. Passers-by, 2 words, bookshop, book and shop, 2 words. Woman, lawyer, you can see some compound nouns, the words are written together as you can see in blackboard. Some are hyphenated as in mother-in-law, mother hyphen in hyphen law. You see? Then passers-by also hyphenated, passers hyphen by. Bookshop written together, book and shop written together. But then woman lawyer, they are separate words, but together they form a compound noun. Okay, so different types of compound nouns exist. And so coming up next, we shall be looking at rules for pluralizing singular nouns that will come up in in our subsequent lessons. So this is where we draw the curtain in today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video and share it with your friends and relations, those you care about. And of course, if you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever I upload a new video on this channel, you will be notified instantly. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you and remain blessed. Looked at the proper noun. So now the common noun is the next type of noun we want to look at.